So let's talk about invisible influence. Everything is going to start at the foundational level. Hear me out. You don't get good fruits if you have bad roots on the tree. That makes sense? If you want to have good fruits, if you want to have a lot of money, if you want to have these yummy, tasty fruits, right? Nice apples or oranges or bananas, whatever. You got to have good roots. If the root is bad, you're never going to have good fruit. Does that make sense? Your business is the same thing. You don't build a house on the foundation of a sand. The Bible says, you know what? He who does that is foolish. Unfortunately, there is a lot of marketers who are trying to build their business, their online empire, right? Their promotions on the foundation of sand. Okay, it's not going to last. The first wind, the first, little storm, and their structure is, collapsed, right? You don't want to be that. So let's talk about where in my business, everything stems from, first of all, I build my business on the biblical principles. I told you that in video number 1. I believe in serving. I believe in, business is not about money. This whole money stuff that everybody is after is temporary thing, right? It's here today, it's gone tomorrow. Who knows what's going to happen to it? 3 years from now, right? It's not what we live for, right? I'm going to tell you something. A few years ago, I did not understand this. When I got in this industry, when I got in this business, for me, it was all about money at that time. And I thought, you know what, I need to solve this money situation because I know what it's like to struggle, you see. I know what it's like to not have $1.19 to my name and not be able to feed your family. And I don't know if you've ever been in that position, in that situation. I know exactly what it's like to be there. I would never, ever want to go back there, but I will never, ever forget. Okay, so that remembering that keeps me straight. It keeps me, it keeps me want to serve and share and do what I do, right? Because I know there's a lot of people who are like that. My biggest breakthrough came when I understood this first principle of invisible influence. Okay, and I read this book. It's by Simon Sinek. I think it's called Start With Why, and I recommended it to a lot of people. You probably heard me recommending that book, right? But this guy was studying a lot of different companies, and he says, you know what? Why is it that some companies that start, they're tremendously successful, right? People just flock into them, and it's just like they have this momentum going, and everything seems to be going easy for them, and this, while other companies, right, they're doing everything right, but for some reason they're not successful, and they're grinding, and it's not happening for them. Why, right? And he says he studied a lot of that stuff, and it comes down to why we do what we do. That's where everything is going to start. That's where every single promotion you're ever going to do, every single campaign you're ever going to put out there, every single program, every single company, every single product you're going to promote, it's got to stem from why are you going to do that, okay? So he says there is, he calls it, I'm going to go through this very quickly because I shared this with some of you if you've been following me. I shared this with you, but it's very important. I don't want to cheat you out from the important information, so I'm going to cover all the major points, okay? When it comes to invisible influence, he says this. He says, a lot of people, a lot of marketers, okay, they know what they sell, okay? They know what they do. You sell, this product, this company you promote, you know what you do. Okay? He says very few know how they're doing it, okay? How they're selling it. And a lot of people think, well, how I'm going to sell this is I'm just going to get traffic. How is my traffic generation? I'm going to get traffic to this thing, and the magic should happen. I mean, at least that's what everybody's telling me, right? He says very, very few people know why they're doing it, okay? Very, very few people know why they're doing it. If we can figure out why we do what we do, everything else doesn't matter. Everything else is irrelevant, okay? And you say, Vic, my why is my family. And that's what I thought too. I want to support my family. I want to make money to feed my family. I want to give them the best. And that's good. But that's your personal why. That's not what's going to resonate with your prospects, with your marketplace. You want to have why. You want to think about this. Maybe that's one of your things on your list for things to do today. Is you want to identify why do you exist as a marketer and why should anybody care? When I went through this exercise, I was blown away. I'm like, man, I'm totally doing this wrong, right? I'm doing it for money because I wanted to get money and I wanted to promote this, right? People say, hey, you know what? I'm selling this thing. It's got 4 wheels. It's got 4 doors. It's got a steering wheel. It's red. It's 1995 or 2015, and the thing is called a car, right? That's your what, right? How you're selling it is, you're getting people, coming to your lot, and and you try to fish, a customer, right? That's kind of how you do it. But why you're doing it, really, people have no idea, right? Companies like Apple, that's the most cash flowing company in the world right now. They operate their business from everything stems from why. So I thought hard and long about this for myself. I literally did this exercise. This was a few years ago that I did this, and it gave me a huge, massive breakthrough in my business. And my business, first of all, it became very, very easy for me to start, continuing to build my business. My results went through the roof, right? And I started to attract people. started to become like this magnetic persona, and I didn't even do anything special, right? It was like magic. It was amazing, right? So I'm going to share with you my personal why I do what I do, right? So maybe you want to model after that, or at least help you out, right? So my personal why, the reason I exist as a marketer, the reason my business exists, the reason my brand exists, right, is I will forget about what I do, how I do this. I'm going to focus everything on why do I exist as a marketer. And the reason I do what I do, okay, is because I want to set a new standard and make a difference. Okay? So the reason I do what I do, it doesn't matter what I do, right? The thing that's on my mind with every promotion is how can I set a new standard? How can I make a difference for somebody, right? Everything stems from there. Now, how am I doing this, right? You may say, well, how are you going to do that? Well, how I'm going to do that? Traffic is going to be the least on the list. Okay? In fact, traffic is going to account for about 20% of how I'm going to do this. Okay? How I'm going to do this? My how is this. Okay? I'm going to serve, okay? I'm going to sow. I'm going for experience. Okay? And creating positive expectancy. And then there is this thing called traffic. Okay? Which is about 20% of the actual thing, okay? So how am I going to do this? And this is what's going to make you stand out and separate yourself from the rest of the crowd, okay? For me, it works really, really well. But you've got to be genuine about it. You can't fake it. You can't be phony about it because people can smell phony a mile away, right? So here, I'm going to serve. This is an extension of this. If I truly want to make a difference in your life, okay? As a follower of mine, you're watching this video right now, okay? How am I going to do this? How am I going to make a difference for you? Is number one, I'm going to serve you. Does that make sense? I'm going to serve you. The book that I'm reading every day, which is the greatest book ever written on success, is called the Bible. I suggest you check it out if you haven't yet. I built my business on those principles and foundations, and it says, you know what? He who wants to be the greatest, be the servant of all, right? I'm going to serve you, and I'm going to do it very, very genuinely from the heart, okay? I'm going to sow, okay? I'm going to sow the seeds, and I'm going to be generous with my sowing, okay? The reason I'm sharing with you these ideas that I'm sharing with you, and not even charging you a penny for it, because I understand where my success comes from, and it's not from Vick, right? It's not from what I do, from what I know. It's from up above, all right? And I know that, and I'm going to sow generously because, you know what? If you sow generously, you're going to reap generously. And that works for me, just like the law of gravity, right? It doesn't matter if you understand it or you don't understand it. If if a baby doesn't understand the law of gravity, right, it's still going to work on the baby. It doesn't matter if you're a good person or a bad person, what your belief system is, it's going to affect you, right? Well, guess what? This stuff is going to affect you. It doesn't matter if you believe in it or not, right? So this is my how. How am I going to make a difference? How am I going to set a new standard? Does that make sense? Right? I want to give my marketplace a certain experience. So for example, instead of talking at you and being this you know what, I'm great, you know, you should listen to me. You know what, I want to give you an experience to where, you know, I want to invite you into my world, just like if you were standing here at my studio right now, right, and we were just hanging out, right? It creates a certain experience for you, doesn't it? Even though there's thousands of people watching this video right now, I want to create an experience for you so that you feel like, you know, it's just you and me talking here. That's it. It's just two of us right here, right? I want to engineer that experience for you. Does that make sense? As I'm sharing with you these ideas, start thinking about how you're running your business, or how can you apply some of this stuff in your business as well. It's going to help, okay? I want to create positive expectancy, which I'm going to share with you and give you specific examples how you can do that. You know, here a little bit later on in this video. Traffic is the least. It's like 20% of what I do. Does that make sense? Or how I do this is, you know, obviously you need to get traffic to fuel all this, but again, this is an extension of my core why. Now, what am I doing, or what am I selling is my product line. Okay? Now, this can be my own product. This is irrelevant right here. Okay, you can see this. This is irrelevant. This can be an affiliate promotion. This can be a company that I'm promoting. This can be my own product. It doesn't matter. You know what? I'm not worried about the product. It's going to be there. Listen, if I do this right, and everything is stemming from my why, I never, ever, 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 ever have to worry about money. I never have to worry about sales. I never have to worry about, you know, is this going to be successful? It's not even on my mind, right? I'm focusing on this with you right now. Does that make sense? Okay? A lot of people are just focusing so much on the product that everything else is kind of blind to them, and it's foggy, and they're not clear on it. The clearer you are on your why, and the clearer, you know, if you can identify some of the steps of how you're going to create and engineer this, okay? Again, this is invisible influence, my friend. This is how you can become this magnetic persona. Doesn't matter what you're promoting, and people will be attracted to you. They won't even know why they're attracted to you, because this stuff is all subconscious level. We can't see it, we can't taste it, we can't touch it, but we can feel it. Does that make sense? And you got to be genuine about this. People can smell a phony a mile away. Does that make sense? Okay? So this is the foundational stuff. Get very, very clear on how you're going to serve your market, how you're going to do it, why do you exist, what kind of difference you're going to make, or whatever your why is, right, for your marketplace.